You're right there guys, Kieran here with yet another episode of Kieran's Movie Space, and this is my spoiler-free review of A Star Is Born. A Star Is Born is directed by Bradley Cooper and it stars Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper, Sam Elliot and Dave Chappelle. The film tells the story of a struggling singer called Ali whose life's forever changed when she meets and falls in love with famous musician Jackson Maine. So I actually got to see this movie a little bit early. I saw it last week and I was hoping to get this review out a little bit sooner, but I didn't get a chance, and I'm actually kind of glad that I waited because it gave me some time to think about the film and get all of my thoughts and feelings collected before I hit the record button. So what did I think of A Star Is Born? Let's discuss, starting with what I liked about the movie, and the first thing that I want to talk about is Bradley Cooper, because he obviously directed the film, he co-wrote the script, he was one of the producers, and he wrote some of the songs as well. So there really wasn't an element or an aspect of this film that Bradley Cooper wasn't directly overseeing or controlling, and as an overall filmmaker, Bradley Cooper does an absolutely brilliant job with this movie. I always enjoy watching a directorial debut just to see a director at the beginning of their career, and I've got to say that this is easily one of the best directorial debuts that I've ever seen. You can tell while you're watching the movie, and this doesn't happen often, but you can tell that Bradley Cooper had a vision for this film. He knew the story he wanted to tell, he knew what he wanted it to look like, he knew what he wanted it to sound like, and his skill behind the camera is the highlight of this entire movie for me, especially when you think about the fact that this story has been told multiple times before, and he's been able to make it new and different and fresh, and honestly, the performances that he's been able to get out of the actors are some of the best I've seen all year, but I guess I'll talk more about that a little bit later. Another thing that I really enjoyed about A Star Is Born is the way that Bradley Cooper kind of explores the characters. More than any other version of the story, this one spends a lot more time and focuses more heavily on Jackson and Ali and their personal journeys, as well as the struggles that they're facing as individuals and as a couple. As the director and the screenwriter, Cooper delves further into the two characters as individuals. He explores their insecurities and their issues in a way that the other movies never really did. More than anything though, Cooper explores the relationship between the characters in a more intimate and compelling way. Jackson and Ali are on two completely different paths as one rises and the other falls, and it would have been easy for the film to lose track of the two stories, but the script keeps its focus on the relationship between the characters, and by doing that, it never feels unbalanced or like it's trying to tell two different stories. There are a few differences between this version of A Star Is Born and the others, and I'd say that the biggest difference is actually the way that Ali is represented and portrayed. Lady Gaga's version of Ali in this movie plays a far more active role in the story. She doesn't take any bullshit, she runs things at home, and instead of basically being given everything by Cooper's character and handed fame on a silver platter, Ali creates her own path and finds success for herself with only a small nudge from Cooper's character. Lady Gaga delivers an absolutely phenomenal and jaw-dropping performance in this movie. When she was first cast in the film, I kind of assumed that she got the part just because she had a great singing voice, but when you see this film, you'll see that she really proves herself not only as a great vocalist, but also as a truly brilliant actor. I can't imagine it would have been easy to follow legends like Judy Garland and Barbra Streisand, but Gaga makes the role her own and unquestionably nails her performance. As for Bradley Cooper, his work in front of the camera is every bit as impressive as his brilliant work behind it. This is easily my favourite of his performances. He makes the character his own, and he does a great job of making you love Jackson, even at some of his lowest moments. The fact that Bradley Cooper also has an insanely good singing voice also helps. It's great as well that while you watch the film, you can really see and you can really tell that every actor on screen is putting everything into their performance. Everyone seems to really care about the story they're telling and the characters that they're playing, and it's always fun to watch a film when you know that everyone in front of and behind the camera did everything possible to deliver a special experience. And that doesn't just go for Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, because the rest of the cast absolutely nails their performances as well. While Cooper rightfully thankfully spends most of his attention on Jackson and Ali, he also makes sure that the supporting characters all have a role in the story, and some of the supporting actors in here deliver some insanely good performances. Sam Elliot is so good in this film. He doesn't have a huge role, but he kills every second he gets, and walking out of the cinema, his performance was one of the things that I kept going back to and thinking about. Of course, I can't review A Star Is Born without talking about the live music and the original soundtrack, which are massive highlights for me. There are obviously a lot of great scenes with Jackson and Ali on a stage at concerts or festivals, and the film really makes you feel like you're up there on stage with them. There's a scene towards the start of the film where you hear the crowd just go wild, and it's almost deafening, and it gives you a small taste of what these guys experience when they get up there night after night. As for the original songs, that's really where this film shines the most. This is one of the best original soundtracks that I've ever heard. Every song has a place and a meaning in the story, and there's not a single song in this film that I didn't still have in my head hours after seeing it. I have no doubts that this film is going to be nominated for a bunch of awards, but I'd be more than shocked if it didn't at least walk away with Best Original Song. Another advantage that Cooper's version has over the others is the deeper message and the underlying theme about music and what it means to be a musician, and staying true to who you are no matter what the world's telling you to be. Cooper could have simply told the story and walked away, but he made sure that this film had something to say, and I think by implanting those themes in there, he's made sure that this version of the story will be remembered for just as long, if not longer, than all of the others. No film is perfect, and A Star Is Born is no exception to that rule. The film does run into some pacing issues, and it seems to lose a bit of its momentum in the third act, but thanks to the great performances and the truly phenomenal songs, the story never feels like it's too long, and it never gets boring. Other than that though, I can't think of any issues that I had with the movie, and that's why I'm giving A Star Is Born the perfect score. It's a 10 out of 10. Not only is A Star Is Born an outstanding directorial debut for Cooper, it's a brilliantly acted retelling of the classic Hollywood tale. Despite some minor pacing issues, the film never fails to bring a smile or a tear, and I'll be more than astonished if we're not talking more about this film, its performances, and its soundtrack when it comes to the Academy Awards. That's it for my review of A Star Is Born. Have you seen the film? If so, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Please like and share this review, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you never miss another review. For now though, that's it for this one. I'll see you next time.